What's good, R&B Squad? This is Out of Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you're new to this family, we don't believe that you're here by accident. Welcome. We're happy to have you, and Jesus is, of course, always happier. The word that I have today comes from a dream that I had and an experience I had alongside my aunt in waking life, and also some scripture that the Lord led me to. And I am smiling because this word should bring reassurance to you if you're in this situation. Now, as per usual, as you listen to the word, you will know whether or not by the details, if it is for you. Please eat the meat, spit out the bone, take what's for you, and leave the rest. So I'm going to get into the dream first, and then a little bit later, I'll tell you guys about the experience that I had alongside my aunt in the natural. So in this dream, I saw this couple. They had like this blanket that they'd spread on the floor, and they were laying on the blanket together, and they were just cuddling. They were just laying there together. Her head was on his chest, and they were cuddling. They were holding each other close. And then at one point, the woman, she stood up, and I could see the back view of her. And something strange happened. It's as if I could see her through her God-ordained partner's eyes, like I was seeing her through the man's eyes who was still laying there looking at her when she stood up. And her hair was shiny. It was almost like there was light reflecting off her hair. And that's how he was seeing her, like this light was emitting from her. And she was so beautiful to him in that moment. Everything about her was beautiful. I could tell that in his heart, he was looking at her and thinking, this woman is beautiful and radiant inside out. So she was literally shining to him. And then she lay back on the blanket next to him, and they resumed hugging and cuddling. And that was the end of the dream. So now the Lord led me to Ecclesiastes 4, verses 11 to 12. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. So here's how you'll know that this is for you. God has either told you whom your God-ordained partner is, and he's told you that this person is either going to become a part of your life now. This person is going to take steps to court you and become a part of your life. This person may be coming back into your life, so you may be in separation from them. Or the Lord has told you that you're about to meet your God-ordained partner. So you're in one of those 3 situations. But because of the way things look right now, you do not think that any of this is going to happen. If the Lord told you you're about to meet your God-ordained partner, you feel like that's impossible because you don't even go anywhere. You've been seeing the same group of people for as long as you can remember. Maybe you just go to work and then go home, go to the grocery store. Maybe you just don't have anybody around you because you feel like God removes everybody. There are people that he told you that they weren't a good fit, and he removed them, and you feel like you literally don't even have any human interaction, not much anyway. So how can you meet someone? And if this is someone that God told you is your God-ordained partner and you've already met them, you know who they are, and you're either separated from them or they have not taken that step yet to let you know how they feel. You don't think it's going to happen because of the way things look. Maybe things look so opposite to that in waking life that you can't see how this could actually be a thing, how this can actually happen. Now, another clue, another way that you will know that this is for you. For some of you, you've actually seen something like this in the natural. The dream that I described with the couple cuddling, you actually saw something like this in the natural. You went somewhere, or maybe you were watching TV, maybe you went to the movies. You saw a couple cuddling exactly as I described. Maybe your head was on his chest and so on and so forth, but you saw a couple cuddling somewhere in waking life. Others of you, if you dream, you had a dream similar to this. If you see visions, you had a vision similar to this. So if this happened to you, if you either saw a couple in the natural who were cuddling, or you saw in the spirit realm a couple who were cuddling, you know for absolute certain that this word is for you. and you are in a headspace of doubt. You are wondering, can this be what God told me that it is? Some of you, for those of you who know who your God ordained partner is, you may be in some separation from them that and the last encounter you had with them ended really badly. It may have ended in a fight. So you're thinking there's no way this person can come back into your life. The Lord is saying, relax. That's the word that I received. Relax. You're getting worked up over nothing. You forget sometimes in your overthinking that what looks impossible to us is possible to Almighty God. And his word shall not return to him void. He is saying to you, if you're in this situation, he told you that you're about to meet your God ordained partner, but you don't got nobody around you, so you don't see how that can happen. You don't socialize, so you don't know how that can happen. You're seeing the same people, the same small group of people every day, and ain't none of those people an option, so you don't know how this can happen. Or you're in separation from your God ordained partner. The separation was so uncomfortable that you don't see how this can happen. You don't see how y'all can reconcile. It doesn't look like it makes any sense for the two of you to reconcile in the natural. Or the person that God told you is your God ordained partner, you're not in separation from them, but the way the situation is set up, they probably have never even told you how they felt. So you're sitting there like, am I hearing right? Am I confused? This person don't look like they got any interest in me whatsoever. The Lord is saying, relax. Relax. Stop getting overworked about it. Stop thinking too much about it. The fact of the matter is, if God spoke this over your life, it is bound to come to pass. His word shall not return to him void. In addition to that, the Lord is saying that this person that he's bringing you into union with, you will find a place of peace and security with this individual. Not only is God going to ease all the fears that you've ever had about coming into union with the person he has for you, but he's going to use this person to calm you, to ease your fears. This is going to be a place of peace, a place of security, a place of protection. You're going to feel like you belong there with that person. They're going to make you feel like you belong. And not just that, but the way this individual is going to see you, you're going to shine to them. So for those of you who are in separation, some of you are in separation because people got into your person's ear about you and said the most terrible things about you to your person. But they ended up making themselves look bad instead of making you look bad. If they could only see how your person sees you, how you look through your person's eyes, the way you shine to your person, they wouldn't even bother to try saying anything bad about you. Maybe that nonsense worked in the past, but the way that God has made you appear to your person right now, he has caused your light to shine in such a way that it was impossible for your person not to be drawn to it. You're shining to him or shining to her. And there's nothing anybody can say to change that perception that your person has of you. That's the way God has caused you to appear in his eyes or in her eyes. So rest assured, God is bringing this union into a reality. He's going to bring it from your dreams, if you're having dreams about it, from the prophecy, if it's been prophesied over your life, into a reality in his own perfect timing. Trust him. Relax. That's the word I received. Relax. Stop getting worked up about it. Okay, so now the Lord led me to a couple other scriptures, and I'm going to get into those scriptures because it's quite a bit here. So I was also led to the second book of Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 5, and it reads, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing it into captivity, every thought to the obedience of Christ. Listen to that part. Casting down the imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. Every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. So there are things going on around you that have got you thinking that this thing isn't going to come to pass, that your marriage promise is never going to come to pass. You're never going to reconcile with this person. This person will never confess to you how they feel. You're never going to meet this person if you haven't met your person yet. The Lord is saying to cast down every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Him, the knowledge of God. So stop allowing yourself to think that these principalities around the situation are somehow going to cancel the promise that God spoke over your life. Whatever those principalities are, whether it's people that the enemy is working through coming against the two of you, whether it's your circumstances that are not in favor of you meeting someone, or not in favor of the two of you reconciling if you already know who your person is, or not in favor of the two of you coming together. Don't let those principalities in high places cause you to think that God's promise for your life is canceled. It is not. Cast those imaginations down. Whatever God spoke over your life is still going to come to pass. And so now there are some people who have been coming against y'all, and that's because the enemy sent them on assignment to come against you guys. There are people who have been speaking against your marriage promise. And for some of you, for those of you who have not even met your person yet, there are people speaking permanent singleness over you. There are people that don't want you to meet anybody. And they're sitting there hoping that you never do, that you never get married, that you never meet anyone that you can love and who can love you. The Lord led me to Malachi 4, verse 3. And you shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts. So in the day that the Lord brings your marriage promise to fruition, these people are going to be brought down. They're sitting there rejoicing now, thinking that it's never going to happen for you. They are going to be brought down low when they see this thing come to pass. God is going to humble them by bringing it to pass right in front of their faces. And now I'm going to share with you guys the experience that I had in the natural alongside my aunt that God spoke to me through. So for this part of the word, it's either going to tie in with the first part of the word that I gave, or for some of you, this is a standalone word. So I visited my aunt recently, and we went into her sitting room. And in her sitting room, she has some what you would call fairy lights in there. And so it's evening, so she's about to plug in the fairy lights just to give the room a nice little ambiance while we sit in there. And when she plugs it in, she notices that the lights don't come on. So since she's a bit older and she doesn't really know much about these electronic gadgets and whatnot, she calls me over there to look at the lights to see what is going on and why they have not come on. And she said, could you check the plug and see what is going on? Because I plugged it in here and the lights are still not coming on. So I squat down and I looked at the plug and I looked at the lights. And I tried to plug it in as well, and I tried to turn on the switch, but when I did that, the same thing that happened to her happened to me. I couldn't get the lights to come on either. So I start looking a little bit closely at what is going on with the cord itself, the cord that is encasing the wire that's connected to the plug. I look at the cord, and there are two cords attached to this plug. There is a major cord and a minor cord. And lo and behold, when I looked at the major cord that's attached to the plug, it was broken all the way through. It was broken clean, as if somebody had literally deliberately snapped it in half. And I said to my aunt, this is what the problem is. The cord is broken. The cord is broken all the way through. And I said to her, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to repair this because the cord is broken all the way through. So you're going to have to replace the lights with new ones. And when I said that to her, a light bulb went off in my head. And the Lord said, pay attention. She is going to have to replace those lights with new lights because the cord that was giving it the power to work is completely broken. It's irreparable. Now, for someone, before God brings you into union with your person, He wants you to know this. There are things and people and situations that cannot come with y'all. Those old things, those old situations cannot come with the two of you into this union. And the Lord led me to Matthew chapter 9, verse 16. No one sews a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, for the patch will pull away from the garment, making the tear worse. Neither do people pour new wine into old wineskins. If they do, the skins will burst. The wine will run out, and the wineskins will be ruined. No, they pour new wine into new wineskins, and both are preserved. And now I took some notes. I'm going to read from my notes. This has two meanings. First of all, for both you and your person, the old people, things, and situations that both you and they tried to make it work with cannot be returned to. God has caused both you and your person to grow. He has stretched you both, and so you simply don't fit with the previous people. You don't fit with the previous situations. You don't fit with the previous environments. You have both outgrown those people. You have outgrown those places. The second meaning is that when the two of you come into union, be mindful that you are both new individuals in Christ. Bring nothing negative from your past into this new place. You cannot deal with them in the same way that you dealt with your ex. Come on, somebody. That is a whole word by itself. Don't bring none of your old ways into this new union. And that's what some of these people from your person's past don't understand. It's a reason why God is blocking them from re-entering into your person's life. That's what some people from your past don't understand. It's a reason why God has literally put a wall between you and them, and they're being pushed out. They're literally seeing circumstances lining up to push them out of your life or to push them out of your person's life. And it's because the Lord is saying there's no room for those old things anymore. Those old relationships, those old friendships, those old situations, like the cord in my aunt's sitting room for her fairy lights that was completely broken and couldn't be repaired. These past situations, these past relationships, they cannot be repaired. They're broken to a point where it's irreparable. And so all you can do is move forward into the new. That's all the two of you can do. Move forward into the new. But this union, the Lord is saying a cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. This is unbreakable. So I hope that this message blessed someone. I love you guys. I will be back with another word as soon as the Lord releases me. Take care.